What is compounding? Compounding refers to the process where the interest earned on an investment or loan is added to the principal amount, so that in subsequent periods, interest is calculated on the new total, the principal plus the accumulated interest. In simple terms, it is the process of earning interest on both the initial amount, the principal, and the interest that has been added to it. This process is commonly used in finance, where it leads to exponential growth over time. Formula for compounding. The general formula. Suppose you invest $1,000 in a savings account with an annual interest rate of 5%, compounded annually for 3 years. Principal P equals $1,000. Interest rate R equals 5% or 0.05. Number of times interest is compounded per year N equals 1 annually. Time T equals 3 years. Using the formula, after 3 years, your investment would grow to $1,157.63. Key points. In this example, interest is earned on both the initial $1,000 and the interest accumulated in each subsequent year. The longer you leave the money to grow, the more significant the compounding effect becomes, since the interest continues to be added to the principal. Why compounding is powerful. Time. The longer the investment period, the more powerful the effect of compounding. Frequency of compounding. The more frequently interest is compounded, e.g., quarterly, monthly, the higher the accumulated amount will be. Compounding can lead to exponential growth over time, especially when the rate of interest is high or the time period is long. Different ways money compounding. Money can be compounded in several ways, depending on the frequency with which interest is added to the principal. The key difference in these methods lies in how often the interest is applied to the principal, affecting the overall growth of the investment. Here are the different ways money can be compounded. 1. Annual compounding. Description. Interest is compounded once per year. Example, if you invest $1,000 at an interest rate of 5%, compounded annually after 1 year, you would earn interest on the principal $1,000, and the new balance would be used to calculate the interest for the next year. 2. Semi-annual compounding. Description. Interest is compounded twice a year, every 6 months. Example, for a $1,000 investment at 5% annual interest rate, compounded semi-annually, the interest would be applied twice during the year, meaning the interest for the second half of the year would be calculated on the principal plus the interest already added in the first half. 3. Quarterly compounding. Description. Interest is compounded 4 times a year, every 3 months. Example, if you invest $1,000 at a 5% annual interest rate, compounded quarterly, you would earn interest 4 times during the year. Each quarter, the new balance is used to calculate the interest for the next quarter. 4. Monthly compounding. Description. Interest is compounded 12 times a year, every month. Example, for an investment of $1,000 at a 5% annual interest rate, compounded monthly, the interest is added every month, and each month's interest is calculated on the current balance. 5. Daily compounding. Description. Interest is compounded every day. Example, if you invest $1,000 at a 5% annual interest rate, compounded daily, the interest would be calculated and added every day. Even though the interest rate is annual, it's divided by 365, the number of days in a year, to determine the daily rate. 6. Continuous compounding. Description. Interest is compounded continuously, meaning that the frequency of compounding becomes infinite. This is the most extreme form of compounding, where interest is added at every possible instant. Example, continuous compounding is more theoretical than practical, but it can be used to model certain types of investments or growth processes. Which compounding method is best? The more frequent the compounding, the more interest is accrued over time. Daily and continuous compounding tend to yield the highest return on investments in the same time period, though in practice, these are often theoretical. Monthly or quarterly compounding is more common for savings accounts, loans, or credit cards, and they provide a reasonable balance between simplicity and effectiveness. Conclusion. Understanding the compounding frequency is essential in personal finance, as the method used can significantly affect the growth of your investment. The more frequently interest is compounded, the more quickly the value of the investment or loan will increase. In the next video, I will explain different types compounding using examples. Till that time, stay updated, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like the video.